Good evening and a very warm welcome to the Catering Circle. My name is Tanya Rahman and it gives me great pleasure to be back as your host for tonight's show. Before we get cracking with tonight's episode, we at the Catering Circle would wish to pay tribute to a great friend of the channel, the late great Anam Ali, MBE, who sadly passed away earlier this month. A man that truly came from humble beginnings and left behind a legacy. He was the founder of the British Curry Awards, Spice Magazine and multi-award-winning restaurant. A man that was a pioneer for the curry industry and a pillar of the British Bangladeshi community. We'd like to pay him a quick tribute on some of his most iconic moments. A career that can only be described as legendary. He will be sorely missed. Now, onto a part of the show that I'm sure Anam Ali would have very much enjoyed, the Restaurant Star competition. Now, we have 3 fantastic contestants live in the studio audience today, and they'll be battling it out in 4 separate rounds to be crowned the next Restaurant Star. Now, the aim of the game is to get as many points as possible, which are awarded by our panel of judges and special judges. And these awards will then be put through to the semi-finals and then on to the finals. Now, before I introduce our panel of judges today, judges, I would love for you to maybe perhaps mention a moment or two of your special memories of Anam Ali, or if you don't have that, then perhaps a top tip for the contestants. So, starting with a man that needs absolutely no introduction. I'm sure, Catering Circle viewers know him already, but, it's my duty to introduce you. It is the man behind the channel himself and the show, Mr. MD Abdul Haq. Welcome.
Thank you, Tanya.
Do you have any special memories of Mr. Ali? I know you used to work very closely together.
Too many memories. I mean, it's a great loss for the industry, especially our community. He's been great help. I mean, I know him from 2009, 2011. He came 9, 10, 11. Purple Eye sponsored British Curry Awards. He's one of those guys knows how to respect people. Knows how to go about, and he's very good at branding. He's a hog buyer. If I had a bit more money, I could have taken this industry to our next level, and which he did. Yeah. 2011, 12, then Justit came in and he had a bit of money, and then he's got so big. We've seen all the, Curry Oscar, we've been crowned, Vindaloo Visa. You have to mention some of the stuff he done. I dearly miss him. I mean, he's a supporter of Catering Circle. I remember his first roadshow we done for Catering Circle 2015. He was one phone call, he was there supporting us all the way to even the last program. He turned up and said, Hogbai, really enjoyed your program. It's completely different and giving us the platform as well to unite the curry industry. A lot of nice things he said. I really dearly miss him. There's so much to say, but he's also curry industry, the first person to had EPOS system. I remember him coming to Bits and Bytes show, one of the shows I used to do every week. And he was showing some of the gadget, which I never seen before, but he got it from China, showed me bits and bobs, and every bit I can remember and picturize it. He's a great role model for every one of us, especially for curry industry, and we all miss him
Absolutely.
dearly.
I feel like we could do an entire show just
I know.
and
Channel
his
has already
legacy.
done one, and we're more than happy to do another one.
And I know he did a lot of work in terms of lobbying the government, especially regards to the Vindaloo visa. So that actually brings me over to my second judge, Keith Best, who is a former Conservative MP and former chair of the Parliamentary's Global Action. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Did you know Mr. Ali at all? Or?
Very well. I had the privilege and pleasure of working with him for many years. Far too many happy memories to recount here. But I think what really came across was he was an enormously successful showman for the curry industry. I mean, he really put it on the map, but he put it on the map not in a really sort of popular, low-level way. He put it on the map in a sophisticated way. I mean, people actually started to take notice of the curry industry, thanks to Anam Ali. I mean, he knew so many people, and if he didn't know them, he got to know them, and then got to be photographed with them. And he was fantastic like that. And I think the one thing that really strikes him, comes across to me in my memory, is his dynamism. You never said no to Anam Ali. If he asked you to do something, you did it. If he wanted you to be involved in something, you were involved with it, because you knew it was going to be successful, and you knew he was going to take it to a different level. And that was his legacy, I think, the ability to raise things to a very, very different level. And the curry industry generally has an enormous amount to owe him, a great debt for what he's done actually for that industry.
Definitely, and I think he was very critical in putting curry on the national map, you know, make it the national dish of Britain, really, so...
Yes, but again, it goes back to the fact that you know, this was a sophisticated approach. I mean, he wasn't trying to sell a cheap product. He was actually selling something that was part of British culture by that stage, and it was something that needed to be elevated to a different level, and he succeeded in
Definitely, and I think, you know, today we'll see on the show that curry is definitely not a cheap product at all. So, yes, so thank you very much, Keith. And finally, but by all means not least, we have Mr. Bajlor Rashid, also a fellow MBE. He's a renowned British Bangladeshi businessman and a philanthropist and former president of the UK BCCI. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, do you have any fond memories you'd like to share of Mr. Anam Ali?
Yes, I do, because actually Anam Ali was my colleague one time.
Right.
He was a fellow director in the Chamber of Commerce. We have many memory of, because we visiting Bangladesh together. We went to a conservative delegation with our conservative chairman of party, and he was with us. So we did have a long time together. And I think we lost one of the most important pillar of the curry industry. And as same as everyone is saying, he established a very iconic curry awards, which is, I request his family that his legacy should be continued. And I think he done a wonderful job to establish such a wonderful British Curry Award, which goes not just here, is recognized by all over the world, and promoted a lot of people. He did lobby. Obviously, when you're representing curry industries, first thing what we do, we lobby for our industry. So he did a lot as well, and I do endorse.
Right, we are going to move on to our special judges now, who are also joining us in the studio today. So I'm going to start off with Mr. Hans Rajram, who's the CEO of Gold Star Chefs and the director of Black Gold International. Welcome to the show. Do you have any top tips for our contestants today?
You know, creativity, imagination, it's all about the food at the end of the day, and consistency. So yeah, looking forward to what you're going to present us. Very much it's about the food.
Excellent, great advice. Right, and then following that, we have Mr. Motin Mia, who's a life member of the Catering Circle. I didn't realise you could be a life member. That's great. I'm definitely joining. And treasurer of the BBCA. He's also a successful entrepreneur within the hospitality industry. So almost like a mentor to the contestants, I guess. So what tips could you offer them?
Well, I was a mentor to one of the contestants.
Oh, right,
and funnily enough, that young man went on to win. So that was nice. I just want to share a small story about Anam Ali Bhai.
Absolutely.
Just to show the humbling nature of the man. I didn't know him very well, he reached out to me a little while ago because he saw something that I was doing, and he just kind of said, "Oh, X, Y, and Z. Is there any help or advice that you can give me on this?" We met up, we had a chat, and it was reassuring for me because a legend of our industry was reaching out to me, so it reaffirmed that I must be doing something right. So that's just the character of the man. He was the champion. And you guys just have to believe in what you're doing. You got to have a passion for the food, and know that you're giving your customers great value for money, and the rest will follow.
And we also have Mr. Akhor Tasmia, who is also a life member of the Catering Circle. He's a multi-cuisine operator. He's got more than 30 years in the experience. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Do you have a top tip you could share with the contestants at all?
All the best. Good luck. People like you will take our industry to the next level. Innovation, new dishes, which is our country industry is trying for. To create a new dishes, and in this hardship time, I think is the innovation and very important, and also the cost of making dishes. Profit margin is dying, so I think it's looking forward to seeing your dishes and sampling it. Thank you.
And next we have a man who is the founder of quite literally one of my favourite restaurants in London, and I genuinely mean that. Welcome back to the show, Mr. Atiq Chowdhury. How are you?
Thank you. Absolutely fine. I'd just like to say to the contestants, this is a fantastic platform for you to show your skills and inspire the industry. A lot of people will be watching the programme and looking at your ideas, so let the dishes do the talking.
And we also have, in terms of our mentors, so we have 3 mentors that are joining us today. So we have Mr. Ahmed Marif, who is a nutritional chef, and he's the author of the upcoming book, The Secret of the Moroccan Cuisine. And welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, is there any tips you could offer our contestants?
Well, we're just waiting for what we create together with the chef in the kitchen, and the tips. We try to take the curry industry to the next level, which is the presentation and the taste and the look. It's most important now.
Absolutely.
And especially now, the cost effective. You need to be big. You need to make some margin now because it's a bit hard with this war and stuff. Yeah. Then let's see how it is.
Definitely. Great. That's great advice. Thank you. And a lady that needs absolutely no introduction at all. So Channel S viewers and Catering Circle viewers would know her as the face of Channel S News. We've got the inspirational Buddhist Bangladeshi woman herself, Mrs. Dr. Zaki Rezwana Anwar. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Shani. It's nice to see you after a long time.
I know, right?
I don't have any tips at the moment because what I have given all the tips behind the scene.
Right.
So what I would like to tell them is it's not all about winning the prizes, because how much they will score is absolutely subjective, how much mark they will get. But my main, I think the main objective of the whole the exercise is to give the right message to that. There are lots of myths around this catering circles. So how to cook the nutritious food and how to so I think that if we can get one right message from each of these participants, that would be great. I mean, winning or losing, that is a secondary issue to me.
Yeah, that's really great advice. Thank you. Yeah. And finally, we have Dr. Sanawar Chowdhury, who's joined us all the way from landing literally hot off the plane from Bangladesh. Are you there, Dr. Chowdhury?
Let me just congratulate Channel S and the Catering Circle for gathering such a vibrant crop of contestants this time. I went to Rajasthan Royals, and Naseem Bhai really thrilled me with his innovation later. So I think we've got a very bright future, especially collected by the Catering Circle and nurtured by them in order to secure the future of the curry industry. So hopefully they'll do extremely well. I know all of the contestants very well, and I know that they will take our industry onto newer platforms.
That's some excellent advice, and I really love your commitment to the show, like literally taking that call whilst driving. So I hope you weren't driving because that's another issue. But anyways, we will move on to the format of the show tonight. So I'm sure viewers will know from the last show that our panel of judges actually have 60% of tonight's vote, and our panel of special judges have 40%. So, before we kick off round one, here's a quick recap of the last episode.
Welcome to season 7 of the Catering Circle.
We really wanted to bring like Bangladeshi cuisine to the forefront and really like celebrate the passion.
Also, it's part of the daily greens in a balanced diet. Fits the bill to cater that market and clientele.
Is to create a new dish that is trend-setting by taking it from traditional curries over to more of an Indo-Chinese fusion.
All 3 dishes, what I thought was really good was that you tried to make a modern take on very authentic home-style dishes.
They have chosen a traditional because, you know, the Bangladeshi cuisine, the fish is using as the number 1.
We'll find it difficult because 2 of them are fish dishes.
Taj Tandoori has won round 1 with 94 points.
All the customers has reviewed good.
I like the fact that all 3 of them are trying new things.
More than anything, customers were happy and all the reviews was good.
These dishes, is it during the summer or how many months ago?
Yeah, so you can have it oakwood smoked or just have it as grilled salmon.
Using the influencers and the bloggers, that's the key to what he's doing, and I think that's something we should be really proud of. And
they are all in different areas. Their strategies are totally different than each other.
Did you guys consider about your net profit?
Things are moving fast and they're doing very well.
All of them really forward-thinking, very impressive.
It's wonderful, and you've done your fantastic job, and you can see that it's really amazing.
Shoreditch Fish and Chips has taken number 1 spot. All 3 of you contestants have been absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much for watching.
Now, before we get cracking with round 1, our contestants in the studio today could really do with your support at home. So we urge you to get involved on your favourite social media channels, tweet us, TikTok us, at us at Catering Circle, or visit our website, cateringcircle.com. Now, let's go to a clip on the contestants' profiles. So those are our contestants for tonight's show. So round 1 is all about recipe and cooking and the story behind the contestants' dishes. So we want to hear from you contestants. You have no more than 2 minutes, and we want to know the name of your dish, why you created the dish, what's the unique selling point, and the ultimate wow factor. So I'd like to invite onto the stage our first contestant. Before that, we will play the recipe clip.
Welcome to the Star. I am the head chef of the Star, and my name is Millatul Murad Liaquat. I am showing my dish, Royal KHAZANA today. This is my ingredients of my dish, Royal KHAZANA. Start with oil, chopped garlic, ginger paste, salt, garlic paste, onion, plum tomato, my own made garam masala, mixed powder, which one I own made it, a 17 kind of spice, turmeric powder, green pepper, chopped tomato, coriander, and lemon leaf where I grow in my own tree in my garden, and some black peppers. Now I'll make our dish. Teaspoon of oil, garlic, chopped garlic, garlic paste, salt, I'm putting my spices. Now I'm going to put some water. Now I'm going to put KATHAL in there. Now I cook for 5 minutes. Put some water and cook for 5 minutes. My cooking is done. Now I'm going to plate it up.
I believe that is a winning dish. The reason behind it is the colors, and it has vibrant colors and textures. It tastes very well. I think it's trendy, look nice for the new modern society. The dish is made from jackfruit, which is accompanied with the basic rice and puree, jackfruit puree with rice, and 2 shots of jackfruit smoothie. The reason we done that is to cool down the heat from the curry, and I think I believe that is a winning dish.
Newly creative dish, highly profit margin, good for vegan, vegetarian and non-vegetarian people, healthy for vegan people, and people selling meat, fish, chicken in the market. This is something different, and I hope my dish will win.
Wow, what a dish. Well, we've already heard from Ahmed in terms of his views on this innovative jackfruit dish, but we actually want to hear from the contestant himself. So we have Mr. MOHAMMAD KAMRUZZAMAN from the Star Restaurant. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you.
So you have no more than 2 minutes, and there will be a buzzer that goes off if you go over the time, to describe the name of the dish, why you chose it, and what the wow factor is.
First of all, I would like to congratulate to be giving me a chance to in front of the panel judge and the main guest. So the dish I choose is the Royal KATHAL KHAZANA. So we choose the name because we wanted to emphasize the British heritage with the modern twist. So why this name came from? Recently we celebrated Queen Jubilee. That's where the royal name came from. And the KATHAL, the jackfruit, which is the national fruits of Bangladesh. And then KHAZANA is a treasure. So if we put them together, that's where the name came from. So we wanted to introduce a new vegan dish. And that's traditionally jackfruit is eaten by rice and milk together. And then, so we thought, why not try something new in the restaurant? And then it's alternative to tofu, and it has got lots of health benefits, high in fiber and vitamins. So, and once it cooks, its textures is similar to meat. So, and its customers really loved it, and it's got good margin.
Anything else you want to add on to the dish? How is it doing?
So yeah, this is really good. It's easy to cook. It's stir fries, and then it starts with spice, and then it's served with lemon rice because it's sweet and sour. So it's mixed together. It's really good dish, and it's really creative. And I think it's very authentic, and then also it's innovative because it's something new. So you haven't tried before. So I think it's going to be a very good dish.
Yeah, and is there seasonality issues with the jackfruit? Because obviously it's not an all-round.
Yeah, it's a seasonal fruit. So it's mainly a seasonal fruit. So for the seasonal issue, we might choose from the Thailand jackfruits, which is we tried with the tin, but it actually didn't work. But I think it's mostly going to be the seasonal fruits.
Excellent. All right. Well, great. Thank you very much. So we'll go over to starting with our judges here. So, Mr. Abdul Haq, what do you think?
Well, it's definitely an innovative dish and something different. As you mentioned, it's seasonal. That's the question that if we were to roll this out to, in UK, in all restaurant, how they're going to source the jackfruit, because it's not available. And the last thing you want is your innovative dish as a port. So have you thought of way around that? And that will, obviously, you need to cater for that because we're looking for a solution. And the star dish has to be rolled out all over the UK, or people easily can cook, or the ingredient has to be easily available. Have you thought of
Yeah,
that?
that's right. We thought because it's Thailand jackfruit skin and optional, so we can easily product that one.
Is it available all year round?
Yeah, yes, it's available, and then also obviously you mentioned it's a seasonal fruit, so it's going to be mainly available. So alternative is that's the jackfruit from Thailand, so that could be an alternative option for all over the time.
Right. But if you're flying in the jackfruit from Thailand, is that not annihilating your margins, though?
Well, it's already it's good margin, but I think it's from the Thailand also. I guess it's a good cheaper option as well. So and I think it will be beneficial.
Okay,
Excellent.
Great. All right. Well, over to you then, Keith. What do you think?
Well, I think it's very good in terms of it clearly appeals to all tastes. I mean, it's vegetarian, so you're catering with everything. Just arising out of the last question, I mean, how narrow are your supply lines? I mean, have you just got one source of supply, or are you actually trying to identify different sources of supply if one actually dries up?
I mean, initially it's mentioned these locally we found these jackfruits, and also mentioned about the Thailand, and on top we have got the teen jackfruit as well. So it could be like another alternative, but I think it's mostly we're looking, as we mentioned, it's a seasonal fruit, so we're looking forward to more season wise.
And you said that all the customers like it with a kind of meaty texture to it, which is interesting. How are you persuading, and how successful are you persuading people who actually are mostly meat eaters to actually try this as an option because actually it's going to satisfy their palate?
Yes, it's definitely. I already mentioned it's vegan friendly, and also we tested with the customers, our regular customers, and they really loved it. They have got a very good response, very positive, and we are very pleased. So we're looking forward.
And are you going to modify it at all in the light of that customer survey?
Yes, of course. It depends on like how the customer likes. So basically, it's mild to medium. So in terms of someone's taste, we can obviously modify the taste. And also, it's naturally sweets, jackfruits. So it could be goes any kind of fruits. Like I mentioned about the lemon rice. Also, it could be any other rices. So and also it's easy to cook.
Thank you.
Great. So, Mr. Rashid, what do you think about Mohammed's KATHAL dish?
Well, I think it's very good dish, and he chosen a name by Platinum Jubilee, followed and everything, so thought is good. And you are all talking about the supply, because there are a number of people who actually imports the cattle, the jackfruit from many countries. So I don't think it will be short of supply anyway. But main thing is that the presentation looked good on the screen.
Thank you.
And how good you are marketing, I don't know, because we need all the dish. More and more new dish need to be introduced to sustain this industry, okay? Because the people who are very innovative. The rest chefs are more innovative, they are doing good business. So we have a special judge here, Mr. Motin, they are very innovative, and that's why they are very successful. So I think depend how you market.
Yeah, in terms of the branding and
vegan, which is very important. More and more people are converting to the vegan now. So depend how you can convince those people, vegan people, to have this dish.
I mean, we have got a very good response. We have got using social media platform and like such as Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and also we have got regular customers, and we support and also we sponsor local sports clubs. So we gave them food, and they tried, and they really loved it. So we were looking forward to.
Great. Well, thank you very much. I want to go over to Ahmed. I know you were the mentor for the Star Restaurant. So tell us, did it pass the taste test?
Well, it tastes really nice, to be honest. I think the combination with the jackfruit, it's not. Normally, curry is too spicy, but that jackfruit dropped the heat down. So we have that. It's for everyone, basically. And has great margin, because I think it costs around £3. So and selling point is 12 to 13 pound, I think. I believe.
Yes, 12.95.
Around 62%. GP there. I think it's quite cheap and has the exclusivity just for himself, for the restaurant. So not anybody doing it. So it has that winning point there.
Great,
Yeah.
thank you very much. Great. Well, thank you, Mohammed. That was fantastic. We would like to call up contestant 2, and we're going to show a quick clip of their recipe.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Portsmouth PAANCHI. My name is Mohammed Abdul Batin. I'm the head chef, and I'll be cooking at Duck Railway. The ingredients I'll be using today for my Duck Railway is Himalayan salt, tamarind, curry powder, that's the chili powder which I have, and whole jeera, onions, ginger and garlic paste, citric fruit which is going into the spices and the herbs, bay leaf, cardamom, cinnamon, potato, which is going to be mashed into making into a side dish. Radish is going to be cooked in a pan with the spices and herbs to make a side dish as well. The onion, green pepper and red pepper, mashed onion, green chili, avocado oil and the fresh coriander. Here we are, folks. Let's start cooking my Duck Railway. Start with, I will be doing the avocado oil. The pan already been heated up, so I'm just going to put a bit of oil just to put the duck in. If I put too much oil, it's going to ruin the duck. So, duck. The secret part of the duck is to put the fat side first. And it's going to take about 20-25 minutes to cook. The duck is going to take 20 minutes to get cooked. So I'm going to start with the sauce to go with the duck, and I'm going to make a side dishes with radishes for the duck. This is our railway duck.
First of all, as you can see, the presentation wonderful. It looks nice, and I'm getting the tantalizing aroma, and it tastes nice as well. And the beauty of this dish is they have, this is highly nutritious, not only because the duck is rich in protein and iron, but the main point is the appropriate usage of the oil. They have used avocado oil when they were cooking in the high temperature, and they have used extra virgin olive oil for their salad. So this is what you should do. You shouldn't always use the extra virgin olive oil. You need to know when to use what. And if we talk about the business point of view, and I think this will do well because this is duck is a delicacy, and people are prepared to pay extra, and this would be a very good dish for any extra occasion.
We believe we have a winning formula with the duck dish. Yes, it doesn't cater for the vegans and the vegetarians, but for the meat eaters, where which category still holds a large proportion of the eaters, the duck dishes will be appealing to them. It's different to all the standard meats available at your curry houses, like your chicken, meat, lamb, prawn, etc. Duck is different. It has a high profit margin. It is nutritious. It's flavoursome. We believe it's a winning dish.
Well, what a dish. And for those of you at home are wondering, how can I get my hands on that duck dish? Then that is the PAANCHI Indian restaurant in Portsmouth. And the representative of PAANCHI we have in the studio today, Mr. RUHITH WADI. Welcome to the show, RUHITH.
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, everyone.
So, same as before, RUHITH, you have 2 minutes to talk through your name of your dish, why it came to be, and ultimately your USP. So, off you go.
Cool. So to begin with, before we actually started creating the dish, we sat down with all our members of our team, which includes the medical nutrition expert, our chefs, the branding marketing team, and our business owners. Now, the reason we had to include all 4 members is because we are hitting 4 criteria, which is the pricing, the health benefits, the marketing research, and how consistent the actual curry could be cooked in time. The name of the dish where we chose railway came from the 19th century. Actually, the chefs actually used to cook the dish on the railway using the traditional meats of lamb and potato. But as we are a street Indian kitchen, we try to experiment with duck as it's in demand as well. The health benefits to the actual dish itself, the fact that duck has a very high value of protein. We are using avocado oil where it's got a very high smoking boiling point, rather than using extra virgin olive oil, which we kept for the salad dressing instead. And also we don't include any artificial ingredients. However, we do use Himalayan salt, which obviously regulates the blood as well. And we don't use any food colouring inside the actual dish either. Also, the simplicity of the actual dish itself, the chef kept the ingredients very minimal and simple. So if there are any mass volumes of orders, we are able to cater in time for the customers itself. So as we can imagine, there may come 7, 8 orders of the same dish. That's why the chef had to really think about what ingredients are key to actually include in there. The demand obviously came from the customers. We've done some market research via using our social media team. Also, not just digitally, but even face-to-face, where we're interacting with our customers in-house of what is it that we can give them that they want that's different. And the response we got back was obviously a different type of meat rather than having your traditional lamb, chicken or prawn, and to introduce duck into our menu. Now, the pricing strategy, obviously, we calculated the cost to sit down and think how profitable would duck be. And at the moment, after doing our full calculations, we are working on a profitability of above 50%. And also the USP that we are looking at is basically we are the only Indian street kitchen takeaway in Portsmouth that's introduced a healthy duck dish, value for money, as you do get a side choice of either mashed potato or even rice. So you've got your carbs as well as your meat there as well.
Right. Right, Ruhith, I'm so sorry I have to stop you there. You are slightly over your timer, but thank you very much. That was a very succinct response. So would like to potentially go over now to the judges to mull over what Ruhith has just told us. What do you judges think?
I think it's very innovative. I mean, something completely different. I kind of like duck because I used to have crispy duck quite a bit from the Chinese. So having it in our Indian restaurant is quite a good start. The lot of health factor, which is what people like to do. Everyone wants to lose weight, and all the oil that mentioned by the mentor Jackie Affa and all that, and you've taken good care of in terms of getting the right ingredients. So I would love to know the kind of calories in there, and I do like duck, so a good choice on that as well.
Yeah, Keith, what do you think?
Well, I like the hint of ginger in it. That's good. I mean, what about the radishes? What made you decide to sort of mix radishes in with duck?
I think what we've decided to do it as, rather than mixing it in with the actual dish in itself as
Have
a
a
whole
side
pan,
dish, yeah.
have it as a side for a bit more flavour and something to obviously not, because everyone, as we are aiming towards the healthy side of things, not everyone would order probably a carb dish, for example, a rice. So rather than having a vegetable masala or a vegetable curry, you might just want to have a pan-fried radish to kind of give you that extra flavour.
We have time for actually one more question, so I'd probably go to our special judges today. So, Motamia, what do you think of what Wadi has said so far?
The duck dish was really, really good. The presentation was absolutely fantastic. I do have a few reservations about the cooking processes because I've been cooking duck for over 20 years commercially. So I think you may want to look at alternatives, like a steam cooker, so help you save your prep time. And there's also a lot of monopolization of your cooker for that one dish. But the final product was great. You just need to save yourself. You need to save time, become a lot more efficient. You as the restaurateur know that the expectation is to serve your customers, and a lot of them within an hour and a half. So just think about a few of those things. But apart from that, I haven't tasted it, but Afa tasted it and she said it was fantastic. Visually, it looked great. So just the kind of logistics and delivery, that's what you need to think about a little bit more.
Definitely. I mean, you actually want to go over to your mentor, Dr. Zaki Anwar, because you did taste the dish. What did you think?
That was absolutely wonderful, wonderful, and the tantalizing aroma and everything. And the point that you raised, we discussed it, and we are thinking of having that machine but at the moment we are doing it manually. And also, I know it's not vegan, but we discussed it because the beauty of this. Of the dish is the background, because we all sat down together and to think about all the aspects like nutrition, the finance and the branding and everything, because we did the kind of like pilot project. And then we one question we asked that is not a vegan, but I think you can't have one dish serving all. So there will be different dishes, like dishes for vegan, dishes for non-vegan. Mm-hmm. But otherwise, it tastes wonderful. I wish you had brought some sample
I know,
for us to taste.
Right? So thank you very much. Thank you. If not, we have to head over to Portsmouth and actually try the dish ourselves. So all round, we've received some really positive comments from your dish. Let's just hope they're reflected in the points. Hopefully. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And we are going to go to our final contestant now of the round, and that is Rajasthan Royal.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Rajasthan Royal, Indian takeaway in Bristol. I'm part of the team. My name is NASEEM TALUKDAR, and we have our chef Afzal Khan here. And today we are going to demonstrate our newest innovation curry called Plant at 34. Now I'm going to introduce the ingredients that goes in Plant at 34. Got coconut milk, soya milk, chopped onions, we've got shredded coconut, we've got some buna sauce with some mixed spices, some ornaments, tamarind sauce, olive oil, bit of salt, tomato paste, chickpeas, sugar, and we got 100% vegan plant-based gravy, and then of course butternut squash. Chef, you ready to cook?
Yes. এই ডিশ রান্না করতে 10 মিনিট সময় লাগে। আসুন রান্না করি। বাটারনাট স্কোয়াশ প্রথমে আমি নিলাম, এখন অলিভ অয়েল দিয়ে ওটাকে ম্যারিনেট করব।
ব্রাউন হয়ে গেছে, এখন আমি দেব সুগার।
Vegan food is coming into fashion. People want to eat healthy. The ingredients are sourced locally at very low cost, yet the margins are quite high. And looking at the dish, it's very rich in color, very vibrant, delicious, and cooked to perfection. So these are just some of the reasons why I think my mentee will win this competition.
So we know the world is changing. We know people are changing. People taste are changing. And there's a huge revolution happening in the food industry. So to keep up with those demands and those trends, we, Rajasthan Royal, has come up with a Plant 34 dish, which is highly profitable, 100% plant-based, and hugely popular with our customers. So we know we will definitely win this.
Well, from all the way from the Rajasthan Royal in Bristol, we're welcome into the show NASEEM TALUKDAR. Welcome to the show, NASEEM.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome. Good evening, everyone.
Walaikum salam. I think you should consider perhaps being a TV chef. You're absolute natural on that video clip earlier.
Thank you for the compliment.
You're welcome. So, you know the drill. You have 2 minutes. Off you go.
So before I get to the Plant 834, I think we need to share the reason why I was involved in this industry. And one of the key moments is the food is a blessing. So everything revolves around the food. Actually, in my religion, my belief come from Allah. So as whoever is in this industry, whoever is involved, and many of you are involved, are doing one of the most blessed job possible, feeding people. So you have to have the passion behind that to be inside this industry and be able to produce something innovative and something really means something to everyone. So the name of my recipe is Plant at 34. So because it's 100% plant-based curry, and it can be only found number 34 Westbourne Road, which is our address. One of the main important part for us is we're not just selling food to feed your belly. We're actually selling you a story, a passion behind it. So it also contributes to your mental health. It makes you feel like you're not just eating, but you're also becoming part of a solution, which is, reducing the carbon footprint, helping the environment. And we know there is a huge problem with the meat eaters and the level of meat has been eaten within our communities. So it's a feel-good factor that really makes this dish very unique and stands out in front of everyone. Not to mention, it's quite profitable, very easy to master for the chefs, the processors, and also it's locally sourced, which is very, very important for us because we feel like as UK is struggling to import a number of varieties items, we want to produce a dish that utilizes the locally sourced vegetables. And for example, today I was reading in The Guardian, there's over 14 million pumpkins are wasted during a lot of seasons a year. So with this dish, you can easily utilize pumpkin or butternut squash, anything locally, and create such an amazing, healthy dish that really produces a next level of revolution in the food industry.
Stop you there. Thank you very much. You pretty much did 2 minutes. Thank you. Right, so you've heard it all. We've heard it from 3 contestants, judges in the studio audience today. So I'll ask you to get your iPads out and begin voting, please. Well, while the votes are getting underway, I'd like to probably ask one of our special judges today a bit about what the contestants and what they've heard and if they can offer any advice. So, Mr. Atik Chandra, what do you think?
It's very interesting. I mean, butternut squash. It's got a lot of calorific values. It's an antioxidant. It's very rich in fiber, and it actually ticks all the boxes. It's locally sourced, easily available, and low in cost. But the actual preparation that you're doing using olive oil isn't supposed to be cooked with. It's something you should add on, because when you cook with olive oil, it's actually cancerous. So you could actually rethink about your preparation. But the idea of butternut squash is a great idea, and I think it's something which will really work.
Yeah, so the pan-fried section is done in a very low temperature, just for the pan-fried butternut squash. So we use a little bit of olive oil.
But when you're heating the oil up, it has a cancerous value.
The certain temperature.
So you should take olive oil out and use some other type of oil.
Absolutely, we'll take that in consideration. Thank you.
That's great. And I'd like to go to Mr. Haq here. What do you think? Any words of advice you could give?
Really something innovative. Obviously, vegetarian. vegan.
100% plant-based. We don't call it vegan because that's a cult. People automatically feels very defensive. So we want to make sure we call it plant-based, so it's appealing to wider audiences.
Well, very
a lot of
soon
flexitarian nowadays, where they become plant-based in 1 week and another week they become more.
Excellent.
meat.
Well,
so we want to make sure very clear.
There's huge marketing done by all the mainstream, the plant-based product, especially nowadays you can get it from McDonald's, MC Plant, and so many others. Obviously they call it vegan, but they also mimic the chicken or meat and other ingredients. So obviously that would be the next stage if we can crack that. But yes, it's a good start. I really like the concept behind it. Let's see the GP and other stuff.
Great, thanks very much. Right, we're going to head over quickly to your mentor, Dr. Sanawar Chowdhury, who I hope has finished driving. Dr. Chowdhury, are you there?
Yes, I am. Actually, I wasn't driving. My wife was driving, and I was in the passenger seat. So, just to say a little bit about this dish, I think this, as Atik Bhai said, ticks all the boxes. It's locally sourced. It's really tantalizing, scrumptious in taste. And it was well received by customers that we spoke to that were there that had eaten this dish. So this is an ideal fusion dish with very low cost base, but very high selling price. So a huge margin that not only benefits the customer, but also benefits the owners as well. So in all ways, in all directions, not only the health benefits, less than, I think, about 330 calories in total. So in all aspects, I think this would be a really good dish to promote throughout the curry industry.
Great advice there. Well, there you have it. That is the end of round one. Right, okay, so I believe the votes are actually in after round one, so we can reveal the results. So here we have it. We've got Rajasthan Royal at 64 points to date. Then number 2, the Star Restaurant at 76. And in the lead so far after round one, it's PAANCHI Indian Street Kitchen. Now, there is a lot to play for, contestants, so don't get despaired just yet. We have 3 more rounds to go. Before we kick off round 2, here is a quick clip.
Tonight I ordered the Royal KATHAL dish, and it was absolutely superb. It was fresh and full of flavour, and as a vegan it was so nice to see an alternative to tofu on the menu, and I would definitely order it again.
I ordered the Royal KAZANA, and I'll tell you what was good is that I could see something different on the menu tonight, and I would definitely order it again.
So we're going to do the same format before. So can we welcome back to the stage the Star Restaurant, MOHAMMAD KAMRUZZAMAN. Right, so you have 1 minute this time to go through the round 2, which is the diners reviews.
You have seen this video, so we are absolutely 100% right. So we are really overwhelmed by the customer response, and it was very positive, and we are very pleased. This dish has got natural sweetness as it's a plant base, and it's full of health benefit, as I mentioned before. So it's easy to cook. So we want to introduce this dish on everyone's menu and start a new craze. Our aim is to focus on health-conscious and vegan-friendly customers, and also because this is the fastest growing market, and we want to capitalize. So I think it's a very creative and authentic dish, and so we're looking forward to in the market.
Excellent. Thank you very much. That's well under your 1 minute time, but thank you, and you can go back and have a seat now. Next up, we have the diners review for PAANCHI Indian Street Kitchen in Portsmouth.
Plenty of flavour in there, really good meat, and I've got to say, it's a winner on this competition. So give it a try from PAANCHI's.co.uk or Portsmouth in Fratton.
I love PAANCHI and their brand new dish, the railway duck. Can't speak. Railway duck is absolutely delicious. If you haven't tried it, you need to try it. It's something you go to bed dreaming about. So get yourself down there and give it a little go.
PAANCHI are always innovating. Their dishes are always full of flavour, very punchy. But one thing that struck me most about this railway duck was just how tender and how soft the actual duck itself was. Full of flavour, as with most of their dishes. Very well priced. PAANCHI really strike a really good kind of level in terms of their pricing. So, there was no real surprises here.
Some excellent diner reviews there for PAANCHI. So we'd like to welcome back to the stage Ruhith. Right, Ruhith. Well, so what we're looking for in your pitch and what the judges are looking for is value for money, and presentation and taste, all of the components that the diners have already mentioned. So off you go, 1 minute.
Sure. So the great thing is the fact that all three of our customers actually gave us a very good response in terms of how succulent the meat was, how much flavour there was as well, which is a very good hit. So we can give our chef a round of applause for that. In terms of value for money, obviously we are looking at selling this dish for $15.99. As you can appreciate, we are a Indian takeaway, not a restaurant, so our prices might be slightly low. However, our target audience in our surrounding sort of area, we have a mixture of target audiences where we have students, we have local residents, we have pensioners, and we obviously have working people as well. So we are trying to sort of accommodate that dish to a lot more healthier eating people. I think when people hear Indian takeaway, they just assume straight away it's a fat full of curry. But I think being innovative, that we've started to experiment with duck, there'll be a lot more dishes with duck meat coming in the future. And obviously with the inflation of obviously everything going up, we have taken that into consideration. Again, we will be reviewing and assessing our costs every sort of three to 6 months, depending on what our costs are. But yeah, I think it's a very good response so far, having, 3 different people telling us that they've loved the dish.
Absolutely, and then what more can you ask for, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's brilliant.
Well, once again, very impressed with your concise answers there, so thank you very much. You can go and sit back down. And finally, we have the Rajasthan Royal Diners Review, so here's a quick clip of that.
I've been a regular with Rajasthan Royal for several years now, and when I saw their vegan options, I thought I'd give them a go. So I tried the pumpkin and chickpea with coconut curry, as well as the aubergine baby potatoes and coconut curry, and really enjoyed both of them. Really tasty, I like the texture, quite nice and light, and I think it would help encourage people like myself to try a more plant-based diet.
Come to Rajasthan Royal a lot. I usually have the chicken pasanda, the chicken korma. The chicken's always cooked to perfection. The sauce is just brilliant. They recently brought out a plant-based curry, which I have tried, and it is absolutely brilliant. It is definitely the way forward.
Well, welcome back to the stage, Naseem. Right, once again, you know the drill. 1 minute, off you go.
So we're selling it at $10.95, which is a very similar price line to meat and chicken. But remember, we are a takeaway, so we are not a restaurant. So our process is slightly different from my competitors. So far we have received a really good review across all our customers, and so we have dedicated a menu for now 100 plant-based, which was very important to get it out. So not just they have just one option, but multiple options as well, and it kind of expands their horizon as well into the menu. And I think having that as a start dish really kind of leads the way forward. And I'm looking forward to expand that, further.
Great, fantastic. Once again, way below the time. You really know your points, don't you? So you still had 30 seconds to spare, so thank you. Our studio contestants have already pitched 2 out of 4 rounds. But before we kick off round 3, we're going to announce the votes of round 2 from our studio judges. So judges, have we all voted?
Yep, done.
Right, okay. Now drum roll, please, while we make the big reveal. So, the results of round 2, the diners judges reviews, is we have number 3, Rajasthan Royal with 64. Oh, it's a tie. PAANCHI Indian Street Kitchen also 64. And the top spot, the Star Restaurant with 72 points. Well, I think that kind of changes the balance of things there. Well, like I said, we're only halfway through the show with 2 more rounds to go. So let's go to round 3. Right, so round 3 is all about marketing and branding. So to recap earlier, the split of votes between the judges are, so the majority judges here hold 60% votes, whilst the special judges hold 40% votes. So once again, I'm going to call each of the contestants to the stage, and they each have 1 minute to describe the marketing and branding efforts that they're putting into place for their restaurant. So please, can I welcome to the stage MOHAMMAD KAMRUZZAMAN from the Star Restaurant, please. MOHAMMAD, once again, you have 1 minute. So please tell us, what are the marketing and branding strategies that you're using at the Star?
First, we tested with the regular customers, and when we've got really a good response, and then we tried with the tester menu to try to the all the other customers, and also they've got quite a good response as well. So, and also we have got lots of sponsors, so we send them in different occasions these dishes, and we've got also the food, and we have got a huge market on social media, and such as Facebook, Instagram, and the TikTok. We try to put videos and then pictures with the big, and then ask for customers for the response, and so they come back with a very positive feedback. And then finally, we've got. We also put a professional photographer to take pictures of these food dishes, and we're gonna put in our websites, which is also a good way to gonna be the branding. So this is the main things to highlight this dish.
Right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Time is up. Thank you.
Very much.
Those are great. Brilliant. Well, let's welcome back to the stage RUHITH from PAANCHI Indian Street Kitchen. From you, we'd love to know a bit about, in terms of how you market the dish, and what's your unique selling point. So off you go, 1 minute.
So the way we've actually marketed the initial dish itself, we had chosen 3 regular customers, and then we actually pointed out our marketing team manager who runs our social media platforms, which consists of Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat. We also have incorporated TikTok in there as well. I think the main sort of focus and the responses that we get is engaging with the client. So we tend to go on Facebook Live, where we're actually speaking to the client as well. Incorporating competitions is another thing where we drive and attract customers, where it gives the customers a chance to actually win a free meal. Not only forgetting that we did used to, and we still do handing out leaflets onto door-to-door services. Also, we are on the news as well, where we do send in coupons and vouchers. So we are using the most as we can to use our marketing strategy. But I think what we need to continue to do is actually engage with our clients and see what they want and cater for them. The most easiest response is Instagram, where we actually can put a yes or no poll, and they can ask us instant questions as well at the same time, where our marketing team manager has 2 juniors with them, where we can relevantly respond within a 24-hour.
Right, that's absolutely excellent. I love that TikTok idea as well. I definitely want to see your video. But
we'll
thank you. Thanks so much, RUHITH. Cool. Right, well, once again, last but by all means no least, let's welcome back NASEEM from Rajasthan Royal. Right, NASEEM, 1 minute.
Okay, so we're marketing as a separate plant-based menu, and we've been promoting to all our social media network, including websites, reviews, and hire like a company like Safasati to take care of a lot of the marketing for Rajasthan Royal. But one thing we did quite differently well, as far as I understood, no other contender or any other organization within this India sector has done it. We actually hired a number of influencers. These are 100% plant-based influencers that done a number of different kind of videos and promotions on Instagram and TikTok to get people motivated and understand the dish, as well as we handed out some of the samples in festivals and stuff like that, which really generated the popularity and the presence of the dish.
Excellent. Thank you very much. You can take a seat now. Excellent. So there you have it, the end of round 3. So judges, please get your iPads out. So while you make your votes, let's go over to the special judges, Mr. Akhtaraz Mia, just to get your views on what you've heard so far on the contestants' marketing and branding efforts.
I really like those 3 dishes they created. Fantastic. Look, very tasty. Vegan and non-vegan, meat dish, duck. It looks amazing. Branding and marketing it. We are at social media and marketing is very important for any dish to sell and make a margin out of it. Is the price of raw material and other stuff is going sky high. So marketing is very important to sell any dish and make a little bit money.
Great, thank you very much. Well, please let me not stop you from voting whilst we go over to our panel judges here. So Keith, what did you think of the contestants?
I'm enormously impressed by them all, actually. I think, they're very innovative. Using social media is critical these days, particularly bringing in a younger audience. And I think, I was saying to Rajlaw a moment ago that actually, developing the vegan menu is also a way of bringing in a younger audience as well. But I'm afraid I don't begin to understand some of these social media platforms, but they all seem to be using them pretty well.
Excellent. Well, I don't know about that, Keith. I can see you as a hardcore TikTok fan. It's never too late. Well, we will go to your mentor then in terms of understanding a bit more about what the mentors think about the dishes and the contestants to date. So, Ahmed, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think the marketing strategy, the duck people done great job, my opinion. I mean, they cover all the angles, and I think it's all about marketing these days. Whatever the dish is, if we say who you know, since what you know, it's all about marketing. You need to bring people to sit on the table to eat and judge you afterwards. So basically, it's marketing more than anything else.
For sure,
That's my opinion.
Yeah, marketing. That's it. That's all you need to know, right, in
That
this
is
game.
the most important thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And how about yourself, Dr. Zaki?
Regarding marketing, what I would say that these days everybody is using that they're doing it digitally, but I personally think that I know marketing, but it shouldn't be from top down. The engagement is very important. That is what we were discussing in our team, that sometimes people might lodge a complaint or whatever. You need to address that. So the marketing, the huge part of the marketing is the engagement. Otherwise, the consumers, they feel left out. And one point, since we are on this topic, I would say I know we are talking about the profit margin, but we should think about the health of the nation. So whoever is doing vegan dish, they should add some protein, because we have seen the vegan the people, we have the protein deficiency and anemia. So if they add something like dals or any type of seeds, that would be great.
Excellent, that's really good advice. But has the voting's been done? Yep. Excellent, so let's announce the winners. Well, there we go. Gosh, there's not much in it at all. So, at third place, we have the Star Restaurant with 70 points. Number 2, PAANCHI, Indian Street Kitchen with 86. And finally, Rajasthan Royale takes the top spot with 90 points. Congrats. Lovely. Well, finally, that was round 3, and we have one more round left to go. So this round is all about the money, gross profit, margin. At the end of the day, that's why we're in this business as well. So let's go to a quick clip. Lovely. Well, there we have it, our final round. So once again, just a reminder of the voting. So the majority vote of 60% is from our panel judges, and the minority of 40% goes to our special judges. Right, so the contestants, what we want to know from you on this round, you have 1 minute once again, is what is your gross margin on each of the dishes? What is the cost for you? How much are you selling it to the end consumer? And ultimately, is it profitable? So I'll call up our first contestant once again. So from the Star Restaurant, Mohammed KAMRUZZAMAN. Welcome back. So the cost of your dish, justify your selling price, and what's your profit margin? 1 minute, off you go.
Sure. This cost of this price is 360, and then it's gonna be marked as 1290, and it's about 68% profit margin, gross profit margin, I think, which is used. As obviously I mentioned, it's a seasonal fruit, so we might have to come across with the seasonal dish. But obviously there is different options for so we can get it from different places. And in the market there is different option to bring this jackfruits in the market. And also, I think is going forward, my chef is devising a new dish with the jackfruit seeds, and also it goes with any kind of dishes. So I think that's going to be another selling point, and it can be used as a dessert as well. So I think that's all mixing together. It could be a good point. So I'm looking forward.
Excellent. Yeah, I like the idea that it can be used for both savoury and sweet. That's right. So thank you, Mohammed. Great.
Thanks.
Well, you can take a seat, and we're going to bring back to the stage Ruhith from PAANCHI. Right, Ruhith, the same points to you. So the cost of your dish, justify your gross margin, and off you go.
Sure. So the cost of our dish is £7. So that's what we would spend out. And the way we sort of broken it down is one duck would cost us £10, which we cut into two. That is £5 per portion. 10% of that would be wastage. However, 90% of that would be the yield. Now, mashed potato is one of our side dishes that we do offer. That is our low sort of cost side of things. We actually buy a sack of potatoes of 25 kg, roughly for about £8. From that, we use about 2 potatoes, which equivalates to about roughly, we're looking at about 7 pence per potato for about 14 pence each. So 14 pence together. Other costs such as the spices, the oils, and the salts as well, etc. We accumulated that and added up to altogether, rounding it off to £2. So our total cost of that would be £7. However, we put the actual dish on our menu for $15.99. So having done the calculation, we're working on a gross profit for around about the 56% mark, which is obviously we were aiming to have a minimum of at least 50 or above. The reason that we've price marked it to that, as we want our customers to feel like they're getting their money's worth, so it's value for money. Also, it's a fulfilling meal where they do get a salad, a side dish. On top of that, they get a main meal as well within that sort of price range.
That's excellent. Thank you very much, Ruhith. I love how you methodologically broken down all of your components there. It's excellent. Thank you. Right, and finally we have Rajasthan Royal. Naseem, come to the stage.
So we are selling Planted 34 at £10.99. Our cost is between £1.20 and £1.45. We're keeping the cost very low because we wanted to create a dish that's going to generate interest from the business owner's perspective to make that investment, to make that dish. Unless it's making that kind of profit, you still need to consider the cost of skills and energy prices and everything is going up so much that you want to keep the cost minimum and make maximum profit. So we need to make more than 80% profit to stay in the business, stay ahead of the business. So that's what we're aiming for. And so far, we've been trading with this curry for the last 3-4 months, and it's become one of our popular dish in our business. So we're pretty happy and pleased with that.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Right. Well, there you have it. Judges in studio today and you at home. You've heard from all 3 of the contestants across all 4 rounds. So finally, this is the final time where you can actually make your vote. So please do get your iPads ready. And it's quite tense in the studio today, you see. I mean, we've heard from all 3 of the contestants. It's pretty tough competition. Any final questions from the judges to our contestants to help with the final voting?
Your cost and the skill sets that's required, and I think one of the underlying things, because we're all customers, I feel we should get value for money.
Can I just make a quick comment? I think it harks also back slightly to the previous subject, as in marketing, and of course in terms of your the product appeal. I think the naming and the branding of your product is so important. Okay. I have a particular choice among the 3 here in this regard, and I think that the very first thing that happens about your dish is when actually people see it on the menu, they see it in writing, they see the naming, they see what it means. That then lends itself into the marketing, it lends itself into the value, lends itself into the price. So slight digression, but the naming of your product is so important, so vital, because everything else then falls into place.
I think, we could be focused on prices and margins. But sometimes, I come from a retail background, so I always believe in putting a dish out there that will actually use it as a hook to bring customers in. And one of the dishes in my restaurant is my grilled king prawns, which I marinate with coconut and turmeric and serve with a homemade peanut sauce. I make sure I get the biggest prawns that you could ever imagine.
Now, the way to do this is to actually hook the customer with something that screams on a plate. You can't just look at margins all day, because that is like one-dimensional trade. We have to think about how to capture customers, how to capture their imagination. You know, go out there, be bold. You know, don't just look at margins. Every dish has got to make money. Sometimes you're going to break even. It doesn't matter. But you've got the customer sitting there, and he's going to order you know, look, the duck dish, my belief is you've underestimated it. You know, the margin is not there. 5 minutes. Okay? But if they're sitting in a restaurant and they're ordering a duck, they're going to order a bottle of wine to go with the duck. So you're actually selling up. That's what you're doing. So it's different ways of making a profit. And it's not just selling a dish and getting a profit. What other things would they order with it? If you're going to sell a lobster, a customer isn't going to order a Coke with a lobster. He's going to order a bottle of champagne or an expensive bottle of wine. So we have to think, what other things? How can you push up the average sale? That's what it's about. That's what we forget. And it's a dining experience. If they can cook it at home or buy it in Marks & Spencer's,
Great.
why should they be dining in your place?
Thank you. That's great. Thank you very much. You can hold the reflect. Okay, lovely. So contestants, you've been through all 4 of the rounds. So now it's time to announce the winner of today's show. So let's see how we got on with round 4 first of all before announcing the final winner overall. Right. Okay. So end of round 4, we've got in 3rd place the Star Restaurant with 68 points. Number 2 is PAANCHI again with 70 points. And taking the top spot is the Rajasthan Royal with 74. Okay, so I don't know if anyone's been keeping a track of the scores combined, but let's see what the total results of the show was. Congratulations, PAANCHI. You've all at home very much enjoyed the show today. I know we have in the studio audience, and thank you very much to our 3 incredible contestants. We could not have done the show without you, our panel judges, special judges, and our mentors. And of course, you at home for joining us. So thank you very much for joining us this evening. And we hope to see you again at the next episode of the Restaurant Star Show on the 6th of September. Thank you very much. Good evening.